I've already prepped my face with Lievre Blanc shaving oil. Excuse me. And my razor is going to be this Medline Instruments razor 3-piece from Canada. It's a company that sells instruments to hospitals. And I got it very inexpensively on eBay. My blade on its second use is going to be one of these Personna Med Prep blades. And it says Personna Med Prep there too. I got these from tryablade.com. And I've already lathered up my brush here. My brush, well, it's got a little lather on it, but it's the Frank Shaving Conversational Shaving brush. Synthetic G4 knot, the official brush of this channel. And I've lathered with the Gillette Pure cream, which as it turns out can be lathered with a brush. So I'm going to go ahead and lather up my face here. I hope you're all doing well out there. Yes, I've seen this cream in the stores, and it wasn't until I saw that gentlemen were lathering with it online using a brush that I decided to go ahead and buy some. Didn't know you could lather this with a brush, but I had seen that it had sort of been all the rage online in the Facebook groups and the YouTube channels, some of them anyway. So there we go. That's lathered up. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're really well. Very strange times we're living in with the COVID-19 virus and all that. I was just wiping off my hands there. Let me wet the razor and get started. And we'll do pass number 1 with the grain. Yes, very strange times in which we're living, obviously. And it's time for me to do my weekly video, which I am doing now. I've had some, I guess, mild depression, partially because of the times in which we're living, and partially because that comes and goes with me anyway. Thank goodness it's only mild depression. But had a day or two there that I just wanted to shave with a cartridge or disposable, do one pass and get it over with. Not bad so far. Let me rinse the razor. And we'll continue here. I really need to get another thing to hold this camera a little higher here so you can see the top of my head, although who wants to see that, right? Some gentlemen shave their head. I just buzz mine with some clippers. I say I never shaved my head, but I might have a long time ago. And if I did, it wasn't a very comfortable experience. This is comfortable so far. I've got some cream up my nose there. Very mild scent on this. Maybe a 1 or 2 on a scale of 1 to 5 as far as scent strength. It's not bad stuff. I guess I could recommend it. It's this is the 3rd time I've shaved with this cream, and it's doing me okay so far. I'll be right back. I'm going to rinse the razor. Here we go. Yes, this is really nice. It's really nice. My nose is not too sophisticated, so I cannot tell you what this cream smells like precisely, except that if you get some, I guess you could say its scent will be no surprise to you. It smells like a store-bought generic, well, not completely generic, but it smells like shaving cream, if that tells you anything. It doesn't smell like the cream out of a can, though. It smells like, I don't know, some kind of Gillette cream out of a tube, which it is, obviously. I'll be right back, and, well, then we'll go across the grain. Incidentally, I forgot to mention that I had lathered, I think I forgot to mention this, I lathered in my Timeless Razor shaving bowl, which is very nice for lathering creams out of a tube and certain soaps and so forth. If you can't afford a Timeless Razor, get a Timeless Razor shaving bowl. They're very reasonably priced, I feel like. I sense, I believe. Not supposed to end a sentence with a preposition, am I? Question mark. Okay, well, got a little sink full of water here, although I think I'm actually gonna let that out. I was going to just wet the brush just a little bit in there, but I had plenty of cream of the right consistency still left in here, so I did have to go back to the bowl a little bit, but that's probably just me, whatever. But good stuff, this cream, I still think. Across the grain we go. Second use on this blade, and I'm sure that they usually throw these away after the first use, after they've prepped a patient for surgery. Or some kind of procedure. Let's see here. Sometimes when things are going well as far as the shave goes, I don't know what to say except nice stuff, and yes, I believe I could recommend it, although I do not rate or what's the word? I'm not sure. I do not review products per se. I merely shave with products that I like, and there are probably literally thousands of those out there, and maybe I have hundreds, but not thousands of good products, excuse me. And what's there to talk about this week except for that virus? And China's doing a lot better, so I'm sure we'll get through all this just fine. The initial panic having passed, everybody buying up toilet paper and such, pretty ridiculous if you think about it. There was still some toilet paper left at our local big box store, and I've heard that the toilet paper everywhere, the bathroom tissue I should say, for the necessity room, you know, that's all being restocked in most places. Excuse me. And I guess if you've ordered anything from China, well, first of all, the virus I've heard on television The virus can only live for about a day on cardboard. And if you're really worried about anything that would be hardware, the software you probably don't need to worry about because, well, if it's soap, viruses can't grow on soap. But razors, other hardware, just throw it in some barbicide. I think that stuff will kill about anything. Follow the instructions. I think you're supposed to leave it in the right amount of barbicide and water for at least 20 minutes. They have some barbicide that'll even kill the AIDS virus. I'm not sure if that's a different kind or if it's a kind I have, unless it's all sold out online, and we'll all probably be okay. We need to worry about our older friends and the very young. Hopefully we'll all be just fine, and I'll be right back, and then we'll go against the grain. Hello, pass number 3 against the grain. And I'm sorry if sometimes I don't explain things very well. My muscle memory, I guess you could say, works better in some situations than it does in others. And I've noticed that when it's just me here on my own, no camera on me, that for some reason, especially with hard soaps and things like that, I seem to get a little bit better lather if I have a sink full of water, or at least partially full of water, or it could even be a cup full of warm water, hot water, that I dip just the tips of my, the bristles of my brush in, and that seems to improve things a lot of the time. I mentioned this last week. One of the alternatives is to just put the brush under the tap and get just a drop or two of water on it, but for some reason dipping it into some water, dipping just the tips of the bristles, seems like regardless of what kind of brush I'm using, seems to help an awful lot for me. Of course, what works for me might not work for you. Your mileage may vary always. And we'll continue here. All right. Still a very nice shave, in case any of you are wondering about these products and gear. In fact, and I'm sure a lot of this has to do with my mood and so forth, but probably, excuse me, have to stifle a possible sneeze here. Yeah, but yeah, probably the most comfortable shave I've had in probably at least 3 days, so excuse me again. Doing pretty good on the time here. I hate having to do a lot of editing and cutting a lot of things out of videos to make them shorter. Alright, flip the razor over here. Well, that's pretty nice so far, and I'll come back and then we'll do pickups. Okay, what time is it, folks? It's pickup time. There you go. That's what time it is. It's pickup time, everybody. Or time for touch-ups, if you prefer. Same thing, I guess. Here I go. I'll try to get these trouble spots, but I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm trying to figure out if I might have a couple of micro weepers there. I'm not sure. I got a couple of weepers the other day that didn't seal up right away or started bleeding later. Those are the kinds I really hate. When you start having some bleeding or just some weeping of blood later on. I'm going to rinse this and go one more time here. Okay, let's see. I'm still getting some audio feedback here. Not too bad, but the cream does seem to be leaving my face nice and smooth, which is good. So, kind of get the feeling Gillette might be listening to us now. I have a Gillette gel that comes in a kind of a clear tube. You probably are familiar with it. It's a blue gel, but it doesn't lather. I have, in the distant past, added it to Williams soap, the contemporary formula, and it actually, together with that, kind of made an interesting lather, but that's been several years ago. Well, I'm done with the shave portion of the shaving show here. I'll come right back. I'm going to rinse the razor, rinse the brush, and so forth, rinse my face. I'll come back with Mr. Towel, and then I'll do recaps and put the finishing touches on the shave here. Here's our good friend, Mr. Towel, everybody. Our taciturn, but very pleasant to have around towel. Yeah, he's usually just hanging around waiting to be used. That's really nice right there. Nice shave. Just, I think a little imperfection down here, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Because when I go too crazy there, I can easily get irritation. So, put Mr. Towel back where he goes, and I'll begin a brief recap here. Well, before I got on camera, I prepped my face with Lievre Blanc shaving oil. And my razor has been this 3-piece Medline Instruments razor. And in there, on its second use, I had a Personna, well, it's a Med Prep blade. And I guess this is what these came in. I said that I got these from tryablade.com, which is indeed a very fine, reputable organization there. But I may have gotten these particular blades from an eBay vendor. It all kind of becomes a blur, but all good stuff, no worries, no problems. My brush was the Conversational Shaving. It's a synthetic brush, G4 knot, very nice, from Frank Shaving, right there. I hope you can see that. Official brush of this channel. My cream was this, well, Pure by Gillette. It's free from, it says it's free from alcohol, dyes, parabens, and sulfates. So it's pretty nice stuff. I lathered that up in the Timeless Razor shaving bowl. And let's see, I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I'm going to go ahead and apply some of the TN Dickinson's Witch Hazel. And my neighbors probably wonder who I'm talking to in the bathroom here. Okay. Interesting, because this is an astringent and has some alcohol in it. The place I'm getting sting is down here, where I tried or decided not to overshave, hopefully. So my face is a little red from that too, but that's okay. I'm going to reach over here and we'll use some of the Gillette Cool Wave, well, it's an aftershave splash. So, and incidentally, here's a peek at the Witch Hazel again, available at your big box stores and your pharmacies and supermarkets sometimes. This is also available at a lot of those same places. It doesn't have really a restrictor on it, so be careful if you're using it. I got quite a bit here, but we'll put a little bit on the wrists, a little behind the ears, way up in behind the ears, on the temples, back of the neck, and now, even though this stuff has quite a bit of alcohol in it, well, I guess I am now. I'm slowly getting a bit of a sting from that, but I guess that just means it's doing its job. And here you are again. That's the Gillette Cool Wave Aftershave Splash. Now, I guess in lieu of regular balm, although this is kind of balmy, I guess, the Gillette Aftershave Lotion, the white, they have a gel in a similar container that is blue. This is the aftershave lotion. So there's an aftershave gel and an aftershave lotion, and we'll just do some of this. And that about does it. This isn't really a balm per se, but yeah, I believe that's all I'm going to do there. And my face is a little bit red, sort of, but it'll calm down in a minute or two. And that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all stay well, and if you are ill, I hope you get well as soon as possible. Thank you. Take care of one another. Take care of yourselves, and peace.